Hi, I'm Stephen with AlbertaUrbanGarden.ca. Growing indoors is a fantastic way to spend the winter months. The best part of all is it doesn't have to be complicated, nor does it have to cost a lot. On today's episode, I'm going to go through how I built this grow station behind me and the cost of the project. If you have access to a south or southwest facing window, you can use something like a bookshelf that you may already have laying around the house, or build a temporary structure like I have over the last few years. With that in mind, I grow indoors most winters, so I finally thought I'd invest in a permanent structure. I added the lower shelf in order to double my growing space. For this project, I have purchased 6 L brackets to support the shelves on the wall. There are cheaper brackets out there, however we decided to go with ones that look a little nicer, as this grow space is highly visible within my home. The next piece is the shelf itself. For that, we've picked up 2 panels of laminated lumber that are just about the length of the window. As there are no studs in the center of the window, I have also purchased drywall mounts. If you're going to do the same, I recommend getting the highest weight rated mounts possible, as once you have your plants, soil and water on top, you don't want them to fail. You will also need a measuring tape, pencil, level, stud finder, and drill. For this build, I will be using the length of the window for my growing area. As such, I will measure and mark the center of the window and extend the line all the way down the center of the wall, using a level to keep it true. This will mark the location for the center brackets. If you have a stud finder, locate the studs under your window. It will greatly improve the strength of the shelf itself if the brackets are secured to the studs. I generally mark them using a pencil. Trace the shelf on the wall. This will set your height for the first bracket. Now that you have traced the shelf line, make sure to offset the brackets on each side of the window the same amount. This is important, as it will evenly distribute the load, preventing future failures. To install the bracket, install the first screw, and using a level, mark and install the second screw. It is important that the brackets are level. For the remaining 2 brackets, I use the shelf and a level to set their height. Once all 3 brackets are installed, I mark the center of the shelf and line it up with the center line on the window. It is now time to make sure the shelf is level. In my case, it was level from right to left, but not front to back. In order to fix this, I've installed shims between the bracket and the shelf near the back. I find paint mixing sticks are wonderful for this purpose. Pre-drilling will help prevent cracking. Once the shelf is level, you can now secure the brackets to the shelf using screws that will not penetrate the surface of the shelf. Once I had the first shelf up, it was simply a matter of repeating the process to install this second shelf. Now this second shelf doesn't have access to the light from the window, so I'll need to install grow lights. With a finished grow station, all I need now is trays, containers, soils, and seeds to start this year's winter garden. Excluding the cost of the grow lights, the total project cost for this build was $84.54 in Canadian dollars. The 6 brackets I required cost a total of $53.88. The shelves cost $29.66. The drywall mounts that I had from another project all estimated a rough cost of $1. If you selected things like more basic brackets and used, say, fence boards for your shelf, the total project cost could come down. For those of you living in the United States, I took a look at equivalent products online and found that they were about 50% cheaper, so the total project cost for this would be around $42 in US currency. The double shelf will be able to handle roughly 32 plants. 32 seedlings at a cost on average of $3 to $5 a plant will produce roughly $96 to $160 worth of plants, recovering my costs for this project within the first year. Now that the grow station is all set up, it's time to get lights for the bottom shelf. On next week's episode, I'm going to go through how I select and install grow lights for a system like this. If you would like more information on different grow light types, check out this episode where I explain the differences between LED, HPS, and fluorescent grow lights. Thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate it very much, and I hope you have a fantastic day.